I'm going to talk today about 3 partners that could make you rich, flippers. If you buy and sell vehicles for a profit or you want to, you're in the right place. This is the Flipping Genius podcast. Our number one goal is to help our listeners make more money. Every episode, we share information, ideas, and experiences of real-life car flippers. I'm Randy Lee. I'm the host of Flipping Genius. I've flipped cars most of my life. For over a dozen years now, I've been a licensed dealer. I am working to build the best podcast about successfully flipping cars for a consistent profit. Let's get to it, flippers. Hey, welcome to episode 138 of the Flipping Genius podcast. It gets more exciting, I think, as I see those numbers increase, and I see the numbers increase online to tell me how many of you folks are taking advantage of the information we've put out there, and I've even seen some of you recommending the podcast to others online. I really appreciate that. I appreciate you trying to help spread the word about Flipping Genius. And if you haven't done it yet, please do so. Please share us on Facebook, on Twitter, wherever you share stuff. Email, talk to somebody face to face and said, hey, listen to this fool. He's got a couple good ideas and he can help you make money. Because that's really the number one goal of the podcast, is to help our listeners make more money. And the more ears we have tuned in, the more eyes we have tuned in, the more we can help. And remember, we are also on YouTube now at the Flipping Genius YouTube channel. Save us as a favorite. Subscribe, please subscribe and save us as a favorite wherever you're at, so you don't miss anything that we're doing. And I'm always trying to do something every week. And today we're going to talk about 3 partners that could make you rich. This is absolutely true. And I thought about this today. Actually, just got back from the car auction. Another typical day at the car auction where we're going head to head with each other, and the prices are getting driven up past where I want to be most of the time, probably past where my competitors want to be too. And while I was there helping Randy Jones from the Alabama Independent Auto Dealers Association, I was filling in for him a little bit before the auction, just to tell the story about AIADA. And while I was doing it, as a matter of fact, I took the time to tell somebody about some of the benefits from the Florida Independent Auto Dealers Association, because they were looking to start a dealership there, and we're having difficulty finding a garage liability coverage. And I knew where I'd look. I go to the association site, I look it up, and boom, they've got like 6 good agencies that's what they focus on. I was able to refer them to that individual, and hopefully that helped out. But all that aside, in talking to one of the guys, and a couple of the guys actually, it reminded me of something that I need to talk more about. I probably mentioned it before. I know I've mentioned it before, but maybe not specifically in this vernacular. Now, I've talked a lot about how do you buy them, where do you find your deals, and that's so important. Finding good deals. But if you're spending a lot of time selling them, if you're having to invest a lot of time in selling vehicles and buying vehicles, it takes you away from anytime you spend a lot of time in sales. You're just taking away from the time you have to hunt deals and to recondition deals. So everything you do, you want to streamline it. And one of the ways you can do that is with partners. So I'm going to talk about 3 partners. And the fact is, if we sat here and brainstormed, we could probably come up with more partners, more typical partners for all of us. And I'll tell you where we can do that all the time is the Car Flipping Forum. So if after you get done hearing me talk about this, if you've got 1 or 2 or 3 ideas to share with everybody, feel free to share them on the Car Flipping Forum. If you're not a member of the forum, it's free. Just go to Facebook groups, type in Flipping Genius. You'll find all our groups. The one that's blue and white in color is the Car Flipping Forum. It's free to join. I just ask that you follow the rules. And one of the rules is you answer a couple questions. So I know you're not trying to spam and scam everybody. Once you get in there, you can pretty much share anything that has to do with our business, the car flipping business, and try to get input from each other. So, like I said, if I'm not going to share everything I know right now because you don't have unlimited amount of time, I'm going to try to give you 3 real good partner sources, and if you've got more, share them. So let's talk about that. The idea is synergy. That word means 1 and 1 can make 3 or 4 or 12. The combination of like-minded partners can come together, and their bonding of their knowledge and their context can create an equation that is larger than either one could do on their own, or larger than half of what either one can do on their own. And that's not always the case. You want to get good partners who help each other. That's very vital. So when I say partners, you got to be selective, just like in anything, whether it be business partners or marriage. You got to pick out the right folks. Some of us get lucky. First off, the simple one is the one that I was putting together today. Other flippers. And in my case, I'm a licensed car dealer. I know a lot of you guys are aspiring to that. So today I talked to a couple licensed car dealers and said, hey, here's my situation. Now, my personal situation is that I usually have, I would say, 5 to 12 cars available to sell that I'm trying to sell at any given time. That's about as big as I want to be. Now, I was talking to 2 other licensed dealers who are almost exactly the same. They have about 10 to 12 vehicles that are on are ready to go anytime. One of them told me I like to sell 10 a month. I make $1,000 per car, and that keeps me happy. And then he laughed, and I think he might have been lying a little bit, but maybe not. Maybe he's knocking them down. That's awesome. That's 120 grand a year just from flipping cars, and that's pretty good. Absolutely doing it. Absolutely doable, and pretty cool in the market that he's selling in, because he deals a lot in the same market as I do. And I, partly jokingly and partly honestly, he always says that he watches to see which ones I'm bidding on, because he knows if I'm bidding on them, I've checked them out. And then as I see him bidding on them, I know I'm going to probably lose the bid because he's willing to pay more than I am. Not a good equation there. So you can't beat him, join him. So I suggested this. Each week, he and I text each other a list of our current inventory. And the benefit of this is, like right now, I've got 3 sedans, a van, a truck, and an SUV. 2 trucks and an SUV. Now, if somebody comes along and they're looking for one of those vehicles, I got that hole filled. But if they're looking for a subcompact, I don't have that right now. If they're looking for a newer truck, I don't have that right now. They want a smaller SUV. I don't have that right now. Naturally, I don't have a lot of things. And over at his shop, he may have all cars right now. He hasn't sent me his text yet, so I don't know exactly what he's got. But maybe he's got 8 cars and 4 vans, and he has no pickup trucks. He's got no SUVs, just for example. Well, when somebody calls me, a lot of times they're specifically looking for a typical vehicle, like they're looking for a mid-size SUV with 150,000 miles on it. If I don't have that, I don't have it. But if I could have access to that, I don't have to lose that potential customer and the potential referrals that will come from that customer. So by having the inventory list of other dealers, in my case now 2 other dealers, it gives me access to around 30 cars that I can usually find something that will kind of sort of fit. Now, our deal is that let's say I send this buyer to one of these 2. When they make that sale, they'll give me $100 or $200, depending on what they can do. We're pretty informal, and vice versa. If they're sending a buyer to me and I'm making a decent profit on it, I'm going to give them a little cut of it. So it gives us an opportunity one, to not lose control of the potential buyer, and two, um, the opportunity to make a little bit of money when we weren't going to be able to do it, and three, the potential referral, because if all three of us are taking care of our customers correctly, we're creating a kind of conglomerate of dealerships that are helping our buyers. This is a really, really simple idea, and it works really well. The idea is, in our case, each Monday, we're going to text over the list of our inventory. Nothing elaborate. It's not my job to sell that vehicle for them. It's just, here, oh, he said he had this and this. Go check them out. I will say, hey, these guys are good guys. I vouch for them, and vice versa. So that's one partnership that really, really has benefited me already, and now I've frankly added another partner as of today. So I'm excited about expanding that. I've got two more partners, different than these two, that will also, or could, I'm going to say could make you rich. I don't want to say will make you rich, because it's something that you have to develop, and if you develop it, it could make you rich. I'm not even lying about that. Of course, I don't know, your definition of rich and my definition of rich, it could be two different things, but I mean, it really could be very profitable to you. But take one little break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the other two. Hey, thanks for listening. And I want you to consider becoming a Flipping Team member. And when you do, we will share with you a startup kit that is valued at $250 or more. And each month, you'll get our Flipping Team Member Success Pack, which is also designed to help you make more money. Each and every month, you'll get more bonus material and other information because you're a Flipping Team member. Go to flippinggenius.com and click on the Flipping Team Member button to learn more. The second one is one I haven't really talked about a lot. I don't know if I've ever really mentioned it in detail. Insurance agents. Now, we all have insurance agents that we deal with. You may have more than one. I've got most of my insurance in one place now, which is something relatively new for me. But a lot of you will have private lines and business lines, carriers, and all these guys can help you. And here's how they can help you. Your property and casualty insurance guy, the one that does your personal insurance, and in my case, he's handling both. Meet with him. Take him out to lunch. Have him take you out to lunch, and tell him, hey, I'm glad you took me out to lunch. So let me tell you how you can make me money. But no, this is an opportunity for you both to help build your business. That's why I say partners. If you'll get him to realize what you're doing, what you do is help people buy cars, and it depends on what price level you deal in. Now, I deal in perfect cars for new drivers. That's really a really good one for me. Inexpensive cars for somebody that's looking for a daily driver to go to work. There's a lot of people that buy cars from me that can afford a much nicer car, but they don't want a real nice car to drive to the office and back. They just want something economical. The insurance agent, a lot of time, is privy to this information. They know who's wrecked their car, who needs to get another car, and who'd like to sell that car that's been wrecked. They're not all totaled. Some cars are not totaled. Some cars are totaled. The insurance agent knows this information. He knows, or he or she knows about who's retiring from driving. This is a really good one. So somebody's mom is 74 years old, and in conversation he finds out that they're not going to be able to drive anymore, or maybe it's their client, it's his client. Somebody is not able to drive, and their car is going to be sitting in the garage, and it's going to be rotting away. He could suggest you buy the car. Clients who are wanting to buy or sell their vehicle. They've bought a new vehicle, but they don't know what to do with their old one, and it's still on the policy. And they're talking to their agent on the phone, and they say, well, I don't know what to do with that one. I'm going to keep it, I guess. They can say, hey, call Randy. He buys cars, and you may want to buy yours. And because a lot of these guys don't want to deal with the general public. The people we'd like to buy cars from a lot of times are the kind of people who take care of their cars but don't want to talk to other people about them. So these are all opportunities for you to buy vehicles and sell vehicles. They know when somebody's got a new driver coming up, and they say, yeah, we're adding Johnny to the policy this year, and I got to find a decent used car for him. I don't want to spend a lot of money. Maybe they're even calling to find out what's a good car to buy that won't cost a lot on insurance, and another opportunity for them to recommend you. And if you take care, you got to take care of this guy's customers. That goes without saying. You do your best, and in all of these partnership arrangements, you do your best for this partner's customers, and they do the best for you. And then on the flip side, every chance you get to refer this insurance agent, carry their cards around in your pocket. Every chance you get to refer business to them, you pass one of their cards. Call Johnny from State Farm. Call Billy from Allstate. Call Bill Beck at Bill Beck Insurance Company. I made all those up. Do everything you can to help them build their business, and they'll help you build your business. This is such a smart move, and I don't think I've really mentioned insurance as much as I've talked about mechanics and not so much body shops. I talk a lot about mechanics liens, and when I'm going to take one more break. When I come back, I just got to grab a drink. It's only about 30 seconds. I want to talk about mechanics and body shops because that's my third one, and we've talked. I don't know how to hold up three. That's my third one. We've talked about mechanics before, but I want to talk about body shops too, and just we're going to cover that so you know how to work with them. Be right back. Hey, thanks for listening, and I want you to consider becoming a Flipping Team member. And when you do, we will share with you a startup kit that is valued at $250 or more, and each month you'll get our Flipping Team Member Success Pack, which is also designed to help you make more money. Each and every month, you'll get more bonus material and other information because you're a Flipping Team member. Go to flippinggenius.com and click on the Flipping Team Member button to learn more. Okay, so the third partner, I guess it could be four partners, but the third partner that I want to talk about are mechanics, which we've talked about mechanic liens before. And a mechanics lien is where the mechanic has done work. They've stored a vehicle, they've done work on a vehicle, and they've not been paid on the vehicle. And now they can place a lien on that vehicle and own the title. Mechanics don't like to do this. They don't want to mess with that. But sometimes they do. Sometimes it's a necessary evil, and they have done the work already, and it's the only way they can get paid. They can intercede with their customer, and because they want to keep good will with them too. They don't want to just be repossessing all of their I'm sorry, their customers' vehicles. So you can intervene by buying the customer out, and then you own the vehicle and you pay the mechanic for his work. And that's a perfect way to do a mechanics lien. But a lot of times they've not done the mechanics lien at all. So the customer still owns the vehicle, and you just go directly to the customer and say, "I'd like to buy that vehicle, and I'm going to pay." I'm going to pay John to do the repairs on it, and then you can go on and live your life and not feel bad about leaving John hanging. And that's more common than where the mechanic has actually taken possession and had the title in his name. Well, a lot of times you'll buy a car for $300 or $400 this way, then you wind up paying the mechanic $800 or $1,000 to do the repairs. And then you want to make sure that you have them do the work. In most cases, they may say, "I don't care if I do the work or not. I just want to get this thing out of here." And that could be the case. I mean, in my case, obviously, I use Dennis Johnson for all my repairs. Dennis does not have any vehicles down there. He has got a smooth, streamlined operation. Very impressive. So I have bought a couple cars from Dennis, but that doesn't happen very often. But we've got that kind of arrangement. If somebody comes in and there's an opportunity for this, he calls me. He'll tell me when I'm down there, and he and Gary have been a blessing to me in my business so many ways, but that's just one of the ways. If a customer comes to the mechanic and says, "I need to get this repaired," and the mechanic says it's going to cost you, $1,600 to have this repaired, and they say, "I just can't afford that," he can then say, "Here's a suggestion. Why don't you sell the vehicle to Randy, and Randy will, or trade it in to Randy. He can find you a vehicle so you can make the deal. You'll take the trade in. Randy will take the trade in. He'll pay me to fix it. He'll turn that into money for himself. And the trade in that he gives you will allow you to buy one of his lesser cars that will get you back and forth to work." So that it can be as simple as that. Now, I've talked about this before, and if you got more questions about any of these things, by the way, write me at flippingquestions@gmail.com or go to our website, flippinggenius.com. It's FlippingGenius.com. You can see it over my shoulder if you're watching the video version. And go to flippinggenius.com and write me there, or you can go to the Car Flipping Forum and write me there, and be happy to discuss these in more detail. And on the other side of the mechanic situation are body shops. Same kind of situation. Somebody gets in a wreck, the car is not totaled, or the car is totaled. This can triangulate with the insurance agent too. He may be the one that sends you to the body shop, or you may be the one that sends the body shop to the insurance guy. Look for opportunities for these partners all the time. Look for opportunities to refer your mechanic. Look for opportunities to refer the body shop that you're working with, and they will look for opportunities to work with you. That's the thing. It's what it comes around goes around. I often talk about do business so that you won't have to worry who's on the next lane at the grocery store. I like to even do it better than that. Do business so you look forward to who's on the next aisle at the grocery store. That's really true. If I see one of the guys from Dennis Johnson's down there, if I see my insurance agent down there, I'm excited to see him. These are my friends, and I'm excited to have the opportunity to help them build their business, and I'm thankful that they help me build mine. And I hope this helps you build yours. I don't know if I'll see you at the grocery store, but I hope if I ever do, you're going to want to at least shake my hand because I'm helping you make money, because that's really what we want to do at Flipping Genius. We've been doing this for going on 3 solid seasons, and as I said last week, I'm looking forward to doing more that will help you build your business, and I'm looking forward to sharing more stories from you. If you got information to share with our group, feel free to share it directly at the Flipping Forum. Write to me at flippingquestions@gmail.com. And if you'd like to be on the podcast to interact with me and with our audience, I'd love to have you tell your story, ask your questions, share your suggestions. Hey, let's work together. Let's make some money. Let's all become flipping geniuses.